Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about why so many people repel money from their lives, right? Their lives. So guys, I made a video talking about how the mind is an instrument to acquire resources, wealth, abundance, all of the things that we want materially, right? And it's crazy, but everyone who you see in life who doesn't have money, right? It's all it is a lot of it, what it comes down to, the first thing that prevents a lot of people from acquiring wealth is ignorance, right? I'll just be honest with you, most people do not understand, don't even know, right? You can ask the average person who doesn't make any money, right? And they just have a mindset that basically is doom and gloom, like life is just all about work, right? The rich control the world. The government controls us. Like, we don't have a say. We have to work, right? Like, even growing up, I had this sort of ideology pumped into my brain that, life was just supposed to suck and you have to work, right? You have to pay bills, right? You have to do certain things. And some of that is true, right? Like, in the beginning if you're someone who has an open mind, yeah, you do have to work for an extended period of time, right? For someone else. But, as you progress, right, you find better ways to make money that don't require you to work in a traditional sense. So, people's mindsets are typically shaped by their environment, right? Like, a lot of people prior to the internet, and still now, it's crazy. Some people, even with the internet, still don't think it's possible to have a personal brand. They still don't think it's possible to make money from investments. They still don't think it's possible to work remotely, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people, right? And especially those people who don't make the kind of money they like or don't have the living conditions that they desire, have this sort of idea that it's just not possible, right? And that's that's the primary impediment to most people's ability to attract money, right? And develop a skill set and whatever. The next thing is people who do, let's say you do think it's possible to become wealthy, become influential, become just abundant, right? Have all the things you want, have the type of life that you want, right? Your mindset, your programming is the second thing that will repel money, right? If you're thinking about poverty, or you're thinking about how you don't control money, and like I said, rich people control money, the government controls your money, right? If you think that way, that creates a victim sort of embodiment in yourself. And when you have that victim embodiment, right, that doesn't give you the ability to take effective action, right? Imagine if you thought all day about how the rich control everything, and money is outside of my control, money's the root of all evil, money doesn't grow on trees, or money's bad, or money doesn't matter, like it's not going to make me happy, right? If you think like this, right, why would money even want to come to you, right? It's like thinking poorly about women, right? Like, a lot of these guys who think poorly about women, it's like, why would women even like you if you don't like them, right? Like, it's okay to have some awareness of female nature, but you don't have to think about women in such a hateful way, right? And what I'll say also is that if you don't have a love relationship with anything in this world, it will not have a love relationship with you, right? If you hate your girlfriend, or you start to hate your girlfriend, why would she continue to love you, right? If you love money, right, then money would love you, right? And in the same way, right, that's how a lot of things work. And it's just funny to me that a lot of people have this idea about money, but you ask them, they have these things that ways of going about money, right, and ideas surrounding money, but they still want it, right? You could ask them like, but do you want to become rich? Yeah, I do. Well, you have to change the way you think about money, right? You have to look at money as a tool. You have to look at money as an exchange value, right? And a lot of people don't understand, right, that it's actually possible to provide value and earn money in return, right? Outside of a traditional sense. Most people think that the only value exchange they have is in a corporate or job setting, right? That is one way. Obviously, you're exchanging your time and whatever you do, whatever the tasks you complete in that job for a paycheck, right? But that's not the only way. Most people think that's the only way. That's what's really upsetting to me, you know, personally, about most people. And it's unfortunate because what does it stem from? It doesn't stem from them not wanting money or not thinking that there's other opportunities. They just don't know, right? And unfortunately, most people are so comfortable and content even in their misery, right? And it's funny, even in their misery, their average, mediocre lives, most people are just comfortable where they're at, and they may think that it's possible to, you know, do certain things via online, via acquiring assets or working remotely. But the effort that's required to do that on a consistent daily basis for years and even decades on end is not something that they can commit to, right? And unfortunately, right, that's where most people, that's like, I think where most people stop. Like, even if you get to the point where you see like, hey, it is possible for me to acquire money through other means other than a traditional job, outside of a traditional job, most people won't put the consistent effort for years and decades, right? And if you have the mindset, you know, I'm not saying it's tough, right? Like, there are days where it's tough. I actually feel really good today. You know, I usually, you know, don't have the energy to make, this is my third video on end, but most people wouldn't have the energy or care or foresight to see that there's a possibility to even make a video and make money from just talking to a camera and posting it online, right? And that's what's sad to me. You know, the internet is something that we can all use to benefit us, right? And unfortunately, most people don't have the foresight or the care or the commitment to be able to commit fully and be consistent with whatever they wish to bring forth into their lives. So that's really, I think, why most people repel money, right? And again, what you see will reflect right back to you. You know, I know that sounds, again, a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in these past videos kind of sounds woo-woo, and it kind of sounds like it's too good to be true, or it's spiritual and it's not real. But it is real, because whatever you think about, you are, again, guys, your mind is God. All 7 billion of us have the mind of God right here, right now. All knowledge is available to us if we choose to use it, right? And whoever's watching this, you have unless you live in like a country where there's absolutely no internet, no water, no nothing, you have the ability, the impetus, and the talent to do whatever you want to do and become whoever you wish to be, right? And I know that sounds corny and cliche and like everyone tells you that, but it's very true, right? There is absolutely nothing stopping you from becoming rich and becoming abundant, right? The only thing that's limiting you is your limited beliefs about money and your lack of commitment and your lack of a long-term vision and seeing things through, right? And you'll have to develop that, right? A lot of people, another thing too, why some people repel money is because they just won't get started, right? Sometimes the toughest thing for people is getting started. Like, there's so many people, right, that I know that have had dreams or aspirations to do something, but they just don't get started, right? And you know, maybe it's because they don't want it bad enough, or maybe it's just because they build such a castle around it. They make it so grandiose in their mind that it's like a fantasy, right? But it's not a fantasy. Once you put your feet to the ground and start moving, right, and you're consistent on a daily basis, and you hold to your vision, right? The thing you want moves closer to you. As you move closer to it, it's moving closer to you, right? A lot of us think we have to chase money. A lot of us think we have to chase a business or chase clients or chase people, right? When in reality, all you have to do is take the first step. All you have to do is show interest, right? Share your mind, share your ideas, right? And once you do that consistently and you provide value, because like I said, money at the end of the day is still a value exchange, right? Then you will get paid for it. And over time, right, as you get better, that's when you can start getting paid more, right? But again, a lot of things hold people back in life, right? And unfortunately, most people don't care to learn what will help them break through, right? There's a lot of things that you have to learn in life, but if you have the mindset that that's all that life is about, like, I'll be honest, guys, the way I see life, right, and again, this is how a lot of successful people choose to look at life, is growth, right? Everything I look at in my physical reality, I think growth. The business that I work in, I think growth, right? The YouTube channel that I work on, I think about growth, right? My relationship that I'm in, I think about growth. Everything, I have a growth mindset when it comes to everything. My fitness, my relationships, my job, my family, even people around me I see, right? Like in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace Wattles tells, the readers, like, if you want growth, if you want more things to come to you, see everything in life as growing, right? Even if it doesn't seem so on the outside appearance, see all troubles, see all tribulations, see all things that seem difficult or seem bad, right, or immoral as the stepping stones to higher consciousness and to growth and to more understanding, right? And when you develop the things that I'm telling you in this video, right, and you apply them consistently to your life, you cannot help but become rich, right? And another thing as well, I'll conclude with this. The biggest way most people repel money is by their internal state of alignment, right? When you're out of alignment, when you're not peaceful, when you're not calm, when you're not cool, when you're not collected, you push things away, right? How many times, and again, you guys who are guys will side with me here, right? Or if you've had the experience, you can probably relate. How many times have you over texted a girl, right? You've over pursued a girl just for her to leave you on red and seem uninterested and vanish off, right? It's the same thing with money, right? When you're frustrated, when you're impatient, when you're ungrateful, right? When you're not taking care of yourself and you're not being calm and you're not holding to your vision, right? And you're being needy and you're constantly looking at your bank account and you're constantly pissed off that you don't have a lot of money, right? That's when you keep pushing things away, right? But when you're calm, when you're cool, collected, when you're in inner peace and your inner alignment, when you're content and when you're doing things every day that reinforce that and bring that sense of inner peace to you, right? Moment to moment, that's when all the magic happens, right? And when that's done consistently, then your whole life has to be greatness. Your whole life has to become abundant. There's no other choice. What is the alternative? That's who you are. That's who you're becoming right now, right? So I kind of wanted to make this video just to give you guys some inspiration, right? Just to help you guys out when it, because a lot of you guys, I'll be honest, you don't like your job. You don't like where you are, right? You're sick and tired of hearing nagging from your boss. You want more money, right? You want more autonomy. You want more mobility, right? And what I'm teaching you, a lot of the ideas in these videos and the ways of thinking about life and thinking about progression, right? They take time to develop, right? But once you get a grip of it and understand what life is and you apply this, you're good to go, right? And wealth will be coming quicker to you than you know it. Your progress will be coming rapidly, right? You will rapidly start to grow. You'll rapidly start to see results, right? And life will be good. And that's what we all desire at the end of the day. We all desire more life, more abundance, more freedom, more joy. So anyways, that's it. That's all. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.